What we got here is antiquated hinges. This one here is junk, and besides that, it's in the flared out part of the body down here, so that it can swing past the door, swing past itself. Basically, it curves out. Also, we want the body to come in at the bottom. I'm going to put a running board back on here, like a 36, 37. So I want to take this whole hinge tree out. I got some of this marked out. I'm going to cut up in here, cut down through here. I'm going to cut this pillar off here. We'll build a new hinge tree in here and put a hinge in about here and here. Swing that door off of so the bottom can come in down in there, and then we'll put a running board in there. So let's get to hacking on this. We're going to take this off here, this bracket, and I put a new big old where's the camera at? Put a big new blade on there, and that way we'll get into the depth best we can. First we'll start with cutting this bracket off, and then we're going to try to zip up there. I don't know if the tool's going to go in there. I think we'll get her in there. Keep the spark from throwing directly in my face. I think we'll put the guard down one notch. And let's get to cutting. Slice and dice, baby. There. Let's move it a little closer. Stuff gets complicated when your feet get tangled up. Okay. Might have to do this very top one upside down. If so, we'll go in and hang through the windshield opening. It's all through, but about a 1/4 inch there. I'm going to knock this off. Straight across here, around there. Then we'll start down this side. Let's dig in. Actually, I think I can go up just a fuzz higher than that before I bear into that too hard. Have to cut it off twice. Looking, yeah, I think I'll go up about 1 inch. A hinge that goes in there. I think it got all that. Okay, the skin comes out, drops in, and then comes in. So we're going to try to cut this just inside of there on the pillar itself. I know it's difficult to see there, but see how it laps over right there. I'm going to cut it just inside of on the face here. And then we'll come in and clean this sheet metal up. We'd like to retain this sheet metal here. And just get this inner pillar out of there. And down here where it curves out, where it curves out down here, we're gonna cut it across here. This gotta go away down here, so let's get into that. Flexed over a little bit there, so I think we did some good. Try to stay pretty close to that. We can go down here and cut a little more, start up from the bottom, and get lined up. I think we've got to get up in here and get that last little 1/4 inch up in there with the sawzall. The saw it all. That's going to be tough. Let's see what we can do here. It'll be a floating cut. Oh my golly, we got her. Something's still holding us. She's all layered up in there. The box goes around and comes back in. I didn't quite get through it all. I think we'll take the cut-off wheel back in there and work on it some more. We may be able to get right in there and just work it up and down until we eat that edge off, just like we were grinding on the inside edge of this sheet metal. Get through those spot welds. It'll loosen up. Just gonna have to work on that a little bit. I like to preserve this outer skin. The way it rolls over there is pretty nice. So. We about got her. It's deep in there, so we got to put on another blade to get this top. But we got everything down below. Just a couple more inches. Let's change the blade. What a blade change! That thing was giving me a fit. It was so tight. Luckily, a friend showed up and we was able to put 2 people on it. I don't know how it got so tight, but we've just about got this out here. There's just a sliver holding it in there. Not even sure. Right about here somewhere. So let's finish cutting that. spot I can't quite get to. What? Because I can't go up high enough, so I'm gonna get the saws all in there. And cut that out. Nothing comes easy. Okay. Go. And good, plugged in good enough. There it is. The old hinge tree. Yeah, see it. It's really flush in there. I have to get in there and clean the back side of that up. I'll show you guys. What I was dealing with here. Yeah. Then we'll clean this little fragment of sheet metal off of there. Now that we can get to it. And we gotta cut this all off of there too, because the fender's gonna go down. Or the back side of that fender needs to roll in as well. Reshape. A lot of trash to cut apart in there. Alright. The top piece came off nice, but this one down here is stuck. I'm going to start prying on it with a screwdriver. Okay. There's one right there. Let's dig into that one. That worked pretty well. Let's continue. next one. There it is. Run this up there a little bit. Dress it up. Let's dig into this corner down here. The thing I'm going to do here is just rip this off right across here. That's level with the bottom of the floor. Everything from there on out turns out. And then on the outside of that fender, we'll take the swell out of that out there. But I think I can sit right here and cut most of that out with the old hackaroo. Let's see what we can get done there. We better get the light cord out of the way. Something's still holding it out there. to go to the outside and trim that up. What you do is just cut that, and then we're going to put a round corner on there. We're going to have a running board come out to there. Let's chomp into this. Some of this out of the way. Just a little dangle in there, hold her. We got our little bit of our flare there. Feels like it's already starting to roll out there. We might trim that up a little bit more right there. This out here, maybe as well. Yeah, it'll do. Now we need to start building the hinge tree. Got the back one cut off already. And we got to cut this floor out here, build some structure in there, build a hinge tree, and yeah. All right then. There's a brace right here. Came out where the door pillar came in before. I retained that in there. We use that to hook some structure on in down here. But I need to take this floor out here. I'm going to cut this off flush here. Cut that floor out there. There will be some structure installed there to carry weight here. Tie that to the frame. This has got to be strong right here. See if we can slice and dice on that. More of that floor may come out eventually, but for right now, we're just cutting on this. edge right here, we're going to need the sawzall. Sawzall. Easy. Okay. Cut it right down here. Why did I know that was going to happen? Hope you're in the frame on that. Now this here, need to cut this out of here. I want to save this brace. But I got to clean all that off of there. You can better visualize what I got there. Let's see. We're going to change knives. Okay, we're gonna take the skin off the top of here and this boxing off the end. quite a bit of mud in there. Drops it right over to the right. Okay. Better work some of this stuff up a little bit and then we'll grind off the rest. Pretty good. That worked pretty good. See what we can get on this side. That works sweet. And this is gonna work sweet too. I'll take a break from this today. We'll get some groceries and clean this mess up a little bit. Okay, we gotta clean this off here. I don't know if I can get in there. Dang it. Just have to kind of saw through it, I suppose. Put you guys over there a little further. All right, one more step. This is the front of our door jamb here. And what we got to do, we're going to build a hinge tree in here to put the reinforcement up here. Build a hinge tree that holds the hinges and fully adjustable in and out. Gives us some structure in here. We'll tie into this upper part of the pillar and we'll tie in down below and build the car around it. So that's what we're going to do. is something like this. Got these hinges here. We're gonna put our slots in here, in and out. We put a box steel here, a box steel on the ends, and this will be fully adjustable in and out. That will give us some adjustment there. Then we'll build into the door from here. So we're going to start building that hinge tree.